Good day everyone. This is a bit of a different video from me. More of a workout video. So this day is actually a Friday for me. Fridays I do light explosive movements. So about speed, power. No heavy exercises, just kind of athletic movements. Focusing on a lot of trunk and core engagement, and when I mean core engagement, that also is including the glutes. Yeah, we're getting into it. So warm up. First 400 meters I do is going to be at 14 kilometers an hour. I do 1,000 meters just to kind of get my body warmed up on the treadmill. So 400 at 14 kilometers. Sometimes I do 16 kilometers, sometimes at the start of the week, depending how I'm feeling. And then the final 400 I do a max treadmill sprint, so 20 kilometers an hour. Some parts of these are kind of sped up, as you can see. But sprints are amazing. You're working basically all your lower body, your hip flexors, stability on your core. You are in a way doing a bit of upper body movement in the shoulders. It does help a little bit with the shoulder girdle, to be honest with you, doing jogging and running. But you've got to keep your body upright. So it isn't just lower body. Sprinting is a fast twitch muscle fiber exercise. It boosts cardiovascular endurance, teaches your body to create maximum force. I've sprinted since I was young. I was technically a regional sprinter. I did 100 meters in 11.9 seconds at the age of 16. That was a school event in England for a region called Buckinghamshire. They did like a school event thing where every school in that region and those that had like athletic people, they'd do an event, and our school had some people. So I did shot put and 100 meter sprint. I came third against these two very fast people that did it in like 11. I was like fucking, they were like off the line before I was off the line. But now that I'm older, I know how to sprint better, and I also use barefoot shoes for sprinting and jogging, as you can see what I'm wearing. You might not really be able to see it here, but I am using barefoot shoes. Vibram 5 fingers to be precise. I'm not sure which ones, I can't remember, they're quite old, but I use Vibram 5 fingers while I'm training. I used to use them more outdoors, but these are kind of used a lot, so I kind of only use these in the gym. So I start using these outdoors again, they're going to start deteriorating on the sole a bit more than I want them to. But yeah, I get to about 350 meters this time. Again, this is Friday. I'm exhausted. I've done strength training on the lower body on the Monday, an upper body session with a chest and shoulder focus on Tuesday, and then I did a core / glute focus workout on Wednesdays, plus I do Muay Thai on Wednesdays now. And then I do an upper body, which is a back focused kind of upper body day with some muscle ups on the Thursday. Sometimes I switch the Monday and the Tuesday and Thursday around. Anyhow, next exercise. Back extensions with glute focus into a reverse hyperextension superset. You're working a lot of the lower body here. Your glute max, hamstrings, spinal erectors, a lot of your lower back stabilizers, your hip flexors. You're working a lot of your pelvic floor in that exercise, or in the first exercise at least. The glutes specifically are your driving force of a lot of athletic performances, not exercises, performances. So sprinting, fighting, kicking, punching, it all comes from your lower body and your ass. Back extensions train your hip drive. Reverse hypers add a dynamic hip extension while decompressing the spine as well. It helps you stay injury free. I've found since I've done this, I don't really get lower back, glute, hip injuries. I've had knee injuries, just that's because of something else that I've done, and I've had like broken toe, but that was because of something else. That's why I don't really do long distance on the treadmill, because I just can't really do it for a long time, at least at the moment. But this superset beast, I don't really see anyone doing reverse hyperextensions ever. Never. I've been to pretty much every gym in my city, and there's only one that I know of that has a machine specifically for it. And this gym doesn't. Doing these with bands also kind of creates constant tension on your glute medius and minimus. On both exercises you can put bands on, I do. Some gyms' back extension machine has a wider foot pad so you can spread your feet further as well. This one doesn't really have a wider foot pad. There are different ways of doing this machine. There's ways that you can also add the upper body in, which I'll show on upper body days. But this is lower body focus, so you're going to keep your head chin to chest, upper back slightly curved. Not really an instructional video, more of a workout with me, but I will kind of instruct where I can. Since there's not individual exercises, I can't really instruct individually. Especially if you want to get to nitty-gritty stuff, especially with squats, like finding the squat position, doing it without any weight first, just sitting down on the floor, essentially. That's your squat position. Pretend you're having a shit on the floor. That's where your feet should be. Obviously you can go wider and narrower to start focusing on different muscles, but if you want to go for the deepest squat you can do, again, put no weight on the bar, pretend you're having a shit, put your ass to the ground. That's where you should be, your feet should be. So explosive squats, 4 sets, the first 2 are with bands. First one I don't really consider a working set, but with a band it sort of is. Normally when I do it for strength training on like Mondays, I literally just stick 10 plates on each side. I'm very much used to squatting now. Muscles worked in these: quads, glutes, hamstrings, calves, core. What do they mean by core? Core is more of your internal muscles, in my opinion. The core, really, a lot of the muscles that connect to where people consider the core is, include the glutes and your lats. Your lats actually go down into your middle back, which is where people would say your erector spinae is. If people are saying that's your part of your core, then the muscles that are connected there are also part of your core. Realistically, the core is more the internal muscles. Just like the transverse abdominis and things like the diaphragm, they're more internal core muscles. The trunk goes down to the pelvic floor. I'm not really going to go full in detail on that in this video. Squats though, the bands increase the resistance as you stand up. This does force you to accelerate your entire body through the movement. It's ideal for any explosive related performances, anything. Whether that's sports, fighting, everyday life, going for a run, stuff like that. Simply building overall explosive lower body strength. I'm probably should have said this at the start of the video, but at the moment of the recording, I'm 65 kilograms. First set of weights I put on a 15 each side, so that's 20, and then I go to 70. You roughly want to use around your body weight for the explosive movements. You don't really need to be going higher. At the end of these squats, when I go back down to 50, you'll see my heels coming off the floor slightly, but that's because I'm exploding up and I feel like I could jump with the weight on. I probably could go in the air with this weight on. I do end up chatting to an old colleague here, which I did again skip out because we do chat for a while. Last two about high bar squat. With squats you only need to take 2 steps back. Again, I'm not going into full detail on how to squat, this is just a workout with me video. There are plenty of videos on how to squat, but I do feel like I should make my own. Because no one really talks about the coming to the bottom position without the bar, things like that. If you can't get your ass to the grass without weight on it, don't be putting weight on your back. You're just gimping yourself over time. Work on mobility first, and then start adding weight. Pretty sure I take an extra long rest there because I'm pretty knackered. This is the last work. I was knackered this week. This was just a shattering week of training for some reason. The camera position doesn't really show you how low I go, but I am going slightly lower than 90 degrees. I'm going to where I feel that I get a pelvic tilt coming in. Next up though, box jumps. You're going to start as high as you can and then go lower as you fatigue. I started at, there's a 24 and an 18. 42 inches, and then it drops to 24 with a 12 and a 3 on it, and then I'll take the 3 off at the end. Pretty much working the same muscle group as squats. But when you do these somewhat fast, which I start doing after this set, it also helps develop reactive force. which is the ability to absorb and reapply force. Again, applicable to a lot of things. Direction changes in sports. Yeah, as you can see, I start to do a bit quicker. Not sure why this week I'm feeling absolutely shattered, but I do take a bit of an extended break here again. I've got sweat dripping on my face. Fridays I don't work out for as long as other days, and at the end of this workout I don't really add in something that I've done at the end, because it's not necessarily a lower body exercise routine. It's part of my combat kind of drills that I've just started doing. I might do a separate video of. I do them pretty much at the end of every workout session. Yeah, I'm pretty much done after this. Next up, lateral kicks with no hand support. I don't ever see anyone doing this, ever. I'm the only one I've seen ever doing this exercise like this. A lot of people do lateral kicks, women specifically. Rarely see guys doing lateral kicks, and you rarely see anyone doing this without touching anything. So this is working both legs. Standing legs, your glute medius, minimus, hip stabilizers, obliques are firing up. Your kicking leg, your hip flexors, adductors, your glutes. Goes balance, hip strength. Good for agility as well. Good for... it's actually good for standing up when someone catches your kick, I found. Very good. We've got a lot of balance because of this, and I had someone catch my kick last week and tried to pull me. I was like, nope, I can hold here. This is actually a really, really good exercise for pretty much any combat sport. Anything that requires sharp side-to-side movement. It builds crazy balance. You put in your first set, you're kicking legs at the front of your standing foot. Second, without resting, you put it behind, and then you rest. Then you switch legs, sorry. Then you rest. Do that again, and rest, and then just do it at the back of your leg. But yeah, this is an absolute demolisher on your hips. That is pretty much Friday. I do a bit of yoga after this, not too much. Mainly focusing on a handful of movements at the moment. Plow. I've been attempting, well, I have done it once, but combining the plow into a shoulder press on a wall stand, got a wall stand shoulder press. Might do a video on that, but we'll see. I did injure myself coming down from it once, so we'll get to that. We'll get to that when I can do it again. When I try it again, actually. Anyhow, thank you for watching. Like, comment and subscribe, and hope to see you next time. I'll leave you with the rest of the video. Peace out.